Above all, guard your heart, as everything you do flows from it. I think that's a very good saying from the Old Testament. Last week we've been at the Teufelsberg, the Devil's Mountain. Today we are at the Marienhöhe, the Mary's Height, ironically. And both hills have the same setup. They are piled up out of debris from World War II. And we still have a very nice surface, but below the surface a lot of things are going on. And this is what I want to expand a bit on today, combined with a life hack, which really helped me in my life. When I was a young adult, my friends had a nickname for me. And the nickname was Data, which is referring to the android from Star Trek. Which is referring to the fact that they perceived me as somebody who is, friendly and very level-headed, but they always had a really hard time understanding what's going on below the surface and inside of me. They felt like I'm lacking an emotion chip. So the heart is the place where our emotions and our feelings and our motivation is being processed. And it's so important, like it says in the Old Testament, that it's very useful to be in contact with what's going on, because everything derives out of it. From a neuroscientific standpoint, you could say that the brain has 3 areas, to very oversimplify it. And the place where the emotions are being processed is called the amygdala. And above the amygdala there's a system which is called the neocortex. This is where all our thinking takes place, where we are perceiving and processing information. And these two institutions play together. Even below the amygdala there's another system which is called the reptilian brain. The reptilian brain is a place where all these unconscious things are happening, like your heartbeat is being regulated, your body temperature, if you're sweating or not, and things like that. And it's amazing to me to think about that, just looking at a TV screen, for example, seeing a very brutal scene, say, and that my emotions are being affected. And even these emotions might lead to my heart rate going up. So all these systems play together. Funny enough, it's working the other way around as well. For example, if I'm hungry, I tend to have emotions I typically do not have when I'm not hungry. And even my thinking is being affected. There are studies which make it very clear that if you're hungry, you have the proclivity to be much more judgmental towards people and situations. So all these things play together. And in the middle of it, our emotions are being located. And therefore it's so important to be in contact with what's going on inside of you. A friend of mine helped me learn 4 basic emotions eventually by asking me, are you mad? Are you sad? Are you glad? Are you worried? And I learned to say, well, I am sad because, I'm mad because, and that was a good start. Still, a number of years ago, I got in a situation where a lot of difficult things were coming at me, and was trying to process all these things going on. I tried to think my way out of these situations, but I somehow couldn't. which eventually led to me emotionally shutting down and my body even shutting down, which led to me not having a lot of energy. I had to stay in bed a lot. I really couldn't move on. And I'm still very thankful for this time, because I feel like it led to me learning something which I could not have learned the other way. And that is with the help of a person to really be more in contact with what's going on inside of me. Something very useful from this time is this. I'm not sure if it's possible to see it like this, but it's a circle of emotions. And it does not just have those 4 basic categories of emotions, but it gets more and more in detail how to word things going on inside of me. So I'm able to not just say I'm sad, but to be able to say I feel inferior, I don't feel apt to solve the situation, I feel overwhelmed, or to be able to say I'm excited and I'm just very joyful, I'm proud of something, for example, and things like that. So why is this useful? I think it's very useful because when you learn to speak like that, this leads in your relationships to a relationship where you don't just communicate on facts and issues and try to on a thinking level, but where you really are able to connect in a meaningful way with another person. And then the same is true in my relationship with God. For sure I can talk to God and tell him, look, I'm asking you to do this or to do that. I need a solution here. But it's so much more meaningful in my relationship with God when I learn to say something like, today I feel very accepted and joyful about this situation here. Or I'm very mad about this, or I feel irritated or helpless. And things like that. That leads to a very different relationship with God. This week you want to try this maybe. To take this with you, you want to print it out maybe, it's going to be in the descriptions. And then you can take it and really reflect a bit on more about what's going on inside of me and how can I verbalize it more in my relationships. Have a great week.